Good. Thank you. All right, I think we're ready to go.
Perfect. Super. Thank you.
Yep.
What do you want off? You want the smoke going up?
Well, I don't know. Emmett, can you hear us okay?
Yeah, I could hear you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Morning.
How's somehow our video isn't up.
No worries. I just want to be able to hear. That would be fine.
Oh, yeah, there's a good reason this isn't up. Hold on. Okay, and it changed it. That's good.
I can see. Thank you.
How's that work?
I can see video. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, sir.
Now, do you want to put his first slide up?
We can. I figure we get through announcements first and then flip over, but you know.
Good morning, everyone.
Oh, I'm good. Good morning. Would you all stand, please? This morning's invocation is in honor of Veterans Day. Let us pray. Dear Lord, we thank you for the innumerable gifts and blessings we enjoy. Our lives, our livelihoods, our friends, our families, and our freedoms. We praise you for your steadfastness and faithfulness. We especially want to lift up our veterans to you in prayer. Those men and women who have faithfully served in the armed forces of the United States. Airmen, soldiers, sailors, and Marines. Those men and women who have kept the flame of freedom alive and who have kindled or rekindled that flame in other countries. We ask of you an increased blessing on their behalf on Veterans Day. They have served well and given much. We particularly ask you to pour out your spirit of comfort on the troops, friends, and families, and ask you to heal the bodies, hearts, minds, and spirits of those who are hurting. And once more, we ask you to be with us in our efforts to do your work here as we endeavor to better local, state, national, and international conditions. We offer and ask all this in your name. Amen.
So Dave is going to come up and give a brief presentation before we recite the pledge.
Please be seated. Good morning, Rotary.
Good morning.
Huh? Sit down. Sit down. Captain,
Doesn't feel right.
sit down and be ready. Thank you all for coming. We are going to deviate a little bit today from the normal protocol that we follow at the start of each of our meetings, because I do have a special presentation I'd like to share with you. Many of you who have been around for a while may remember several years ago, I have, as part of the program, a short video that was done by an actor-comedian, Red Skelton, that covered the Pledge of Allegiance. And it talked about a childhood experience of his. So I'd like to, again, given that what we've just been through with the national election and all of the things that are going on in our country today, I would ask for you to give another few minutes here to listen to what Red has to say as part of his life experience.
A teacher that I had. Now I went through the 7th grade. I went to the 7th grade. I left home when I was 10 years old because I was hungry. I used to I work in the summer and I go to school in the winter. But I had this one teacher. It was the principal of the Harrison School in Vincennes, Indiana. To me, this was the greatest teacher, a real sage of my time, anyhow. He had such wisdom. And we were all reciting the Pledge of Allegiance one day. And he walked over, this little teacher, Mr. Laswell was his name. Mr. Laswell, this is, he says, I've been listening to you boys and girls recite the Pledge of Allegiance all semester, and it seems as though it's becoming monotonous to you. If I may I recite it and try to explain to you the meaning of each word. I, me, an individual, a committee of one, pledge, dedicate all of my worldly goods to give without self-pity, allegiance, my love and my devotion to the flag, our standard, Old Glory, a symbol of freedom. Wherever she waves, there's respect, because your loyalty has given her a dignity that shouts freedom is everybody's job. United. That means that we have all come together. States, individual communities that have united into 48 great states. 48 individual communities with pride, dignity, and purpose. all divided with imaginary boundaries, yet united to a common purpose, and that's love for country. And to the republic, a state in which sovereign power is invested in representatives chosen by the people to govern. And government is the people, and it's from the people to the leaders, not from the leaders to the people, for which it stands. One nation, meaning so blessed by God, indivisible, incapable of being divided, with liberty, which is freedom, the right of power to live one's own life without threats, fear, or some sort of retaliation. And justice, the principle or qualities of dealing fairly with others. For all, which means, boys and girls, it's as much your country as it is mine. And now, boys and girls, let me hear you recite the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Since I was a small boy, 2 states have been added to our country, and 2 words have been added to the Pledge of Allegiance: under God. Wouldn't it be a pity if someone said that is a prayer and that would be eliminated from schools too?
Okay. Now we can get back to the normal routine. If you'll rise, I'll have Captain Mike Close lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
If he can get up.
I pledge allegiance to the
flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dave. Thank you, Mike. So just one bit of trivia about the video. Does anybody know who wrote the music that was playing in the background? Red Skelton did. It's called Reds, White, and Blue. So we're going to keep changing things up a little bit. So we're going to start off with the 2 truths and a lie. So Michael and Jim, thank you.
Thank you. Good morning, everybody. We'll get through this. It's, I don't know, we did 3 truths and a lie. I don't know if it's 2 truths or three truths, but we did that. So I'm gonna start off with Jim, and there's a little bit of context and all this stuff, so bear with us. James Warburton, this guy, was born during the year 1940 in Shaker Heights, Ohio, where he graduated high school in 1958. Jim later attended Ohio University, where he graduated in 1963 with a degree in accounting, ultimately becoming CPA in 1967, and was recognized by OU as Accounting Alumni of the Year. During high school and college, Jim was known by his nickname Worm. I have so many questions. So, Jim worked in public accounting for 38 years for 3 firms, eventually becoming managing partner of Green & Wallace, which contained approximately 40 team members. Jim has been active in many nonprofit organizations, serving numerous boards, supporting building Habitat for Humanity houses for several years. Jim met his wife Gail on a blind date while she was in nursing school, and they were married in 1962 after 1 year of dating. They have 3 children. Their first child, Jimmy, tragically died of brain cancer in 1973. Their second son, Doug, is a Lutheran pastor in Gahanna. Daughter Laura is a tax director at Deloitte. Okay. They have 4 grandchildren and 1 great-grandchild. Contrary to Jim's buttoned-up professional life as an accountant, he does possess a slightly wilder side. Jim his date, and another couple went to the Roxy Burlesque show in downtown Cleveland.
Right.
During the show, Jim's buddy went to the restroom and was gone for a suspicious amount of time. Jim went to check on him to make sure that he was okay, only discovered that his buddy was struggling with the zipper on his pants. Being the bigger man that Jim is, he muscled through the embarrassment that was helping his buddy get his zipper unstuck in the men's room during a burlesque show where I'm sure so many guys were wondering what was going on exactly. So, Jim's golf is his passion, or golfing is Jim's passion, in which he has currently recorded 6 hole-in-ones. He has been very active in many other sports activities through the years, once even playing a softball game in Clipper Stadium where he was a pitcher, and even won the Columbus City Handball Championship. Jim is also an avid woodworker and with an extensive shop where he enjoys making furniture and holiday decorations as gifts. Jim and his wife Gail love to travel, but their favorite trips were in a travel trailer with their kids going all over the United States and parts of Canada. Jim was a member of the Columbus Rotary Club for 20 years plus until joining Dublin AM Club in 2005, where he earned the honor of Rotarian of the Year in 2023. I don't think that's working.
Is it?
Was it?
Yes.
Should I keep using it?
Yes.
Okay. Jim's retirement philosophy, and it's a good one: stay active, enjoy life, perform services to others, spend time with family, and do something to keep your mind active. 3 truths and a lie for Jim. Jim was recognized by Ohio University as Accounting Alumni of the Year.
True.
Jim won the Columbus City Handball Championship. Jim's nickname in high school and college was Worm.
Probably.
Jim's willingness to help out his buddy with a stuck zipper in the men's restroom at a burlesque show.
True.
Which is it?
Handball.
Oh.
I was running on.
So is this too long, or should we cut straight to the? Okay, go ahead.
This will be a while, but I just want to say, I wish I was a kid with you in elementary school, so I could have kidded you about being the Darling boy. Michael Darling was born during the Summer of Love, June 1969 in Attica, Ohio, where he was the youngest of 3 sons. Michael was raised on a 700-acre working cattle ranch in northern Ohio, where he helped raise registered Black Angus cattle, pigs, and horses on occasion would have
February calves.
I'm reading the wrong line. February calves roaming the house because of the freezing outdoor temperatures. As a teenager, Michael was enamored with the rodeo lifestyle, especially bull riding. He once tried riding a 1,580-pound show steer where he was tossed completely out of the barn perfectly through a sliding door that was fortunately already open. Lucky you.
It was.
Although at the time not known for his athletic prowess, he was a member of the first undefeated Seneca East football team, where he contributed as a kick returner, running back, and defensive back. Michael attended the Ohio State University, where he was a trombone player and member of the best damn band in the land, eventually becoming the squad leader of Q Row. Although sousaphones are the only instrument allowed to dot the I, Michael did have the experience of being the top of the I, not the dot, during the 1961 OSU Indiana game.
91. First month was a long time.
During his time with the OSU marching band, Michael performed with a pep band at Woody Hayes' house and hung out individually with Woody's wife, and while eating steak and lobster from the dining room table. Michael was later personally invited to the Ohio State and Ann Hayes Ann Hayes to Ann Hayes' birthday party. Michael impulsively answered a newspaper ad to audition for a modeling position with the Avenger Western Wear. Michael won the audition. His silhouette featured his butt with the Avenger Western Wear logo was featured on billboards near Denver, Colorado. Michael received approximately $840 after taxes for his one and only modeling gig. Michael has an insatiable competitive spirit and utilizes mechanical skills to build and drive an NHRA drag racing car whose chassis is certified by the NHRA to compete down to the 8-second quarter-mile threshold. Michael is a dual-class winner with wins in both Modified Pro and Modified Super Pro classes. Michael has competed at Norwalk Raceway Park's Night Under Fire and World Nationals, as well as Rockingham, North Carolina's B&M Racing Series. Michael has also competed in Georgia, Florida, Columbus, National Trails, West Salem's Dragway 42, and Marion County International Raceway. I wonder how he has time to work.
That was before I had a job.
Michael is a serial entrepreneur and innovator who opened the first business east of Chicago Pizza Company in Fostoria, Ohio, at the age of 24, and was later founder of the Great Lakes Paper Reclamation in Tiffin, Ohio, at the age of 34. Although a trained landscape designer, Michael worked at the City of Dublin as an operation administrator in the Public Works Department, where he oversees several city contracts. Michael also worked part-time for Oakland Nursery Dublin as a nursery support staffer. Michael currently resides on Riverside Drive in Powell with his beautiful wife, Laura, and his one son, who is currently 21 years old, working as an auto body technician near Cleveland. Michael's future plans include beginning an MBA program with a focus of American Law Services at Liberty University this January, and eventually earning his pilot license shortly thereafter. What do you think about that, Phil? All right, 3 truths and 1 lie. As a teenager, Michael was enamored with the rodeo lifestyle, especially bull riding, and once rode a 1,580-pound steer where he was tossed completely out of the barn, fortunately through an open door. During his time with the OSU marching band, Michael performed with a pep band at Woody Hayes' house and hung out with Woody Hayes' wife, Ann, while eating steak and lobster from the dining room table.
Absolutely true.
Michael impulsively answered a newspaper ad to audition for a modeling position with the Avenger Western Wear. Michael won the audition, but only his silhouette featuring his butt with the Avenger Western Gear logo was featured on billboards near Denver, Colorado.
True.
False.
Michael is a dual-class winner in an NHRA drag racing with wins in both Modified Pro and Modified Super Pro classes.
Yep, the modeling thing was total BS. Like that one, UTLY, you got know, but no modeling. So thank you.
Thank you very much. Now it's up to you.
To announce the winners and the great turnout we had for the 125 club.
Yeah. Great. Well, I'll be quick so we can get to the presentation, but thank you to everyone who participated in the 125 club. We just about got to our goal. I think we ended up with 37 commitments, and the goal was we had about 40. So, today is drawings for some of the prizes that we have for those who made the commitment. So last night I was cutting these little pieces out. I wish I would have made them a little bit bigger for you, but So we'll make drawings. The first drawing will be for the loge seats for the Columbus Blue Jackets game on December 23rd. There's 6 seats and parking pass for the stadium. And then we have a couple bottles of bourbon there. And then, Peter, where are you at?
Over here.
And Peter has a surprise bottle that he's going to bring at a future meeting.
Yeah, president of future meetings. It's actually a bottle of Woodford double oak bourbon.
So there you go. We'll do that last. So Gene, if you don't mind, for the Blue Jackets tickets.
Michael Schuchter.
I gotta be here.
No. All right, I'll get his email and stuff. All right, why don't we do the Angels Envy?
Lily Rinaldi.
All right, I'll email her as well. Come on, Gene, get us someone who's here.
Pat Clay.
And then for Peter's surprise ball.
Rich Weber.
Hey, thank you again, everyone. Really appreciate it, and going to a great cause. So thanks again.
I want to introduce Len, who's from the district, the major gifts chair.
Right.
So.
Thanks, Dean. Yeah, I'm Len Roos, Rotarian, and I'm on the district TRF team. That's Foundation for Rotary International. Thank you so much for your support of 125. That's actually a district program that sends $100 to the annual programs fund and 25 to polio. And it's incredible. I mean, what you just did, polio vaccinations, that's, I don't know, they're 60 cents a piece, do the math. And anyway, one of the programs we have is bequest, and that's would you leave a promise to of $10,000 or more out of your will, remainder, trust, whatever. And I'm the district chair of that and major gifts. My information is on the back. There is an application here. Everything's available online, but with Rotary.org, it's hard to find forms sometimes. So there's a QR code. It'll take you to the form for bequest. If you have any questions, my information's on there. Just call and I'll help you through it. And one other thing, at certain levels, Rotary International has certified pros that will help you through it at no charge. So just give me a call. I'll help you with that too. Thanks.
There's a scholarship committee meeting following this meeting at 8:30 today, so we'd love to have you join in. Wolf, I believe you have an announcement.
I do. Just wanted to let everybody know the results of our Socktober collection. Last year we collected 315 pairs of socks. This year we collected 436. So here's something. The competition is still open for another day or two, and but I can tell you that we've already surpassed as a district our record last year. So great job, everybody. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other brief announcements?
Yeah, real quick, and I'll leave that. On November 16th, there's a watch party for the Ohio State Western game at Shawnee Station, which is a brewery down here up in Shawnee Hills, or actually up there in Shawnee Hills. Kickoff is at noon, so we can start congregating 11. We actually have our own room that's been set aside by Shawnee Station, so with a TV, and you can wander the bar. There's all kinds of, it'll be a good time, so be there, and we're gonna send out the invite on Club Runner today.
All right, thank you.
Just really brief, last week I talked about Thanksgiving service. So it's the Thursday before Thanksgiving. It's at Dublin Community Church right next to the cemetery in Dublin. Words and music, giving thanks in various faith traditions. November 21st at 7 p.m. I'll leave a couple of these over by the food, and you can take a picture of this, and then that's a reminder to you. So.
All right, thank you. And I'd like to welcome our Sergeant at Arms, Mr. Van Dien.
Okay. Thank you for the warm reception, right? Today we have a few guests. You've already met Lynn. Phil West is here, Susan's husband. And he put down that he's a guest, but, and granted, we haven't seen him for quite a while, but Mr. Close, welcome back. We'll have a drawing. We'll take care of that. The small pot is $20. The large pot is $2.48, and we'll give you the option of which one you'd like to draw for. Draw a number. 281.
Now you won't be able to get into college. 281, great. Would you like the small or the large?
Small.
Yes. Okay, 258. Okay, great. You know, we'll.
That's that word introduce.
Thank you. Okay. David isn't here, but David Bentz isn't here, but David Williams is still here. So there will be fines today for Rotary Protocol. If you don't have your badge, button, pin, or a card, it's $1. Okay. Other than that, I guess we're short on time, so we'll give it back to Gene.
Thank you, Jen. Dave, I'll just turn it over to you in the interest of time.
All right, good morning again.
Good morning.
And just to set the stage, obviously Veterans Day is coming up on November 11th. And we wanted to I wanted to put together a program this day that features two very important programs. One of which is our own club's Veteran Affairs program, but also wanted to introduce you to one of the programs that we do sponsor as part of that program, and that's the Purple Star Club at Dublin Scioto High School. So we have with us John Witt, who is the faculty advisor for the Purple Star Club, and Zoe and Maya are two students who have put together a project that they initiated several years ago and conducted at the school, and it's a fantastic. We just did it last night over at the high school, and first time I walked in there, you see these storyboards that they have, and that they're going to go through them for us here shortly. But I expected to see about 20, maybe some. There's about 200 of those posters up and down all the halls of Scioto High School. And all the kids got involved in interviewing veterans and members of their family, neighbors, grandparents, and the like. And it's a superb program, and I'm very excited to let them tell you about what they did and how they did it. But before we get there, I want to just kind of walk through where are we today with our veterans program and the things that go on to do. So first thing I want to do, we did that. Short quiz. All right, are you ready? You ready? Okay. Veterans Day is not the original title that was associated with this upcoming national holiday. What was it originally called? Armistice Day. Armistice Day is correct. So after World War II, veteran organizations really decided they needed to have some sort of time for our country to recognize the contributions of veterans and their support. And so they petitioned Congress, and Congress elected to establish a National Veterans Day. Okay, what was the original purpose of that holiday? Say again?
Celebrate the end of the war.
Yes. Okay. If you remember, it was intended to honor all the folks who participated in World War I and World War II. and marked by parades and celebrations throughout the country, but it was deliberately identified as a specific day. What date was chosen to acknowledge this national holiday? November 11th is again correct. And why was that?
That was the time of the end of World War I.
Into World War I.
11th hour.
They determined that although the hostilities had ceased prior to that, it was established that it would be recognized as Paige said, the 11th day of the 11th month at the 11th hour. So all of this, okay. What's the difference between Memorial Day and Veterans Day? Memorial Day, exactly right, honors those who have died as a result of military service. And Veterans Day is honoring those that are still around and serving in many different capacities. Okay, who or what is a veteran? Sometimes we get confused, but there are really two definitions of veterans, one of which is a civilian definition. And that is if somebody has been in a particular career area for a while, they call them a veteran accountant, a veteran lawyer, a veteran teacher. These are folks that have done the same job and done over time. A military veteran is somebody who has served in the armed forces of the United States. And by title and code, they are designated. I'm whipping through this thing. So now, some facts about veterans that you need to know is, how do you become a veteran? Well, it's generally you're a veteran due to active duty service in one of the armed forces of the United States. You can also serve in the reserve component of those armed forces. And finally, members of the National Guard are also included as veteran status. You don't have Coast Guard, is that not recognized? Coast Guard is normally, in peacetime, the Coast Guard works for the Department of HHS. Well, we used to call it Transportation. Homeland Security, excuse me. So it isn't until the declaration of war, the Coast Guard transfers over to the Department of the Navy. Just some statistic, this is hard to see, but it's an aging force, and obviously, if you look at the thing here, and today most of the veterans are Vietnamese and Gulf War veterans. In 2048, you'll see that this shifts down to the Gulf War veterans and other post-war activities. So most of the veterans now, 50 plus years, 28%, 50 to 69, 36, 70 plus, 37%. But those stay pretty close to the same as we move as the veterans force age. And then by race, by here, women are going to decrease from 11 to 18% of the military forces over time. So it just kind of shows you what our veteran force consists of. This is the program that we have here at the club, at the Rotary Club. Each year we have several programs, several veterans associated organizations that we support. One of which, and I placed it down here, is the Purple Star Club at Dublin-Scioto High School. And we're excited to have with us today Mr. John Witt, who is the faculty advisor to the Purple Star Club at Dublin-Scioto. And I'm going to ask him to come up along with the two students, Maya and Zoe, here, and bring their boards up because they have a story to tell. And the program that they have, we can put a chair up here. And just put those on the chair. Okay? So everybody can see them. Does that work?
How about if we hold them?
Oh, we can hold them. So I'm going to turn the program now over to John.
I think
you got to use it. Okay. Sorry. Club rule. Sergeant at Arms will find you if you don't.
No worries. Hey, so I'm not going to talk real long because I want to
put the attention where it's deserved, which is on these amazing young ladies. The one thing I do want to do is thank Rotary. I've been blessed to be connected with Rotary for probably almost 12 years. And along that time, Cap, Claudia, Osh, Mr. Williamson, the one thing they've consistently done is allowed us to empower our next generation to establish habits that make our world a better place. And Zoe and Maya are a part of that. The purpose of Purple Star Club, their mission statement is to recognize, remember, honor, and support our military members and their families. And they undertake a lot of great causes throughout the year that do that. It is active every day of the year. Obviously, times such as this, and rightfully so around Veterans Day, we kind of spike in terms of our activity. But beyond that, again, it is ongoing. And that is a testament to these two amazing young ladies who, since first entering Dublin Scioto about 18 months ago, have done nothing but been leaders of the club. So I'm gonna hand it over to them, allow them to kind of talk through what their project boards are about and some of the things they do as well. But again, thank you all.
So I'm Zoe, and I've been in the Purple Star Club since the beginning of freshman year. But I've also been part of the club since the beginning of freshman year. Really the big part of Purple Star Club is to honor and recognize veterans, families and themselves, and to never lose a story from a veteran. We do we do lots of things, like we have a mailing list that we send cards to veterans on Veterans Days, holidays, and their birthdays of about 90 different people that we send them out to.
We do this like all throughout the year. It's not just like 1 month we just sit down and write cards. Like it's every time. Like we're never not honoring someone, and I think it's really important that we always honor them. Another thing we do with Purple Star is we host tailgates during like all 3 school seasons. So during the football season, we host a veterans tailgate. And what we do with the football team, they all wear camo jerseys. And I think it's really important to honor all veterans during that game. So it's really cool that we have a tailgate there. We also have a veteran tailgate at the basketball game in the winter. That'll be in February. And we also have a veteran tailgate at the baseball game in April and May. It's kind of dependent on when the weather works out, but that's some big events we have. Also in April, it's the month of the military child. So we have tons of events that honor veterans, like we have luncheons and ice cream socials, and we're really just really important about honoring the veterans during that time. So,
go ahead.
Okay, so the Veteran Story Project is something that all AP Studies members do, but it's also something that Purple Star Club will run, or Purple Star Club will run. So like if you came to the event, you saw people running it and handing out pamphlets, but then you also saw like students like me and Maya who made posters for about 2 months. We had to we had to find a veteran that was in the military, interview our veteran, and then put it into words and on a poster. And then yesterday we presented it at the event. We also had a round table where we would go in and sit with the veteran and talk to them about their story and what like kind of questions that we would ask our veteran when we interviewed them about their military story.
Yeah, we actually got to meet 2 very important veterans here, Dave and I remember we got to meet you guys, and it was really cool stories to hear because I would have never known that on your jackets you get different pins and they all have such a meaningful story to tell, and you have about like 20 or so, and they all tell such a different story, and I would have never known that if I didn't get the opportunity to sit there and talk with them. So I think it was really important. And he also shared on his cap how it has the word Vietnam on it, which defines that he was serving in the Vietnam War, and there's also different pins and wings, and the wings define that he was a pilot. So I think it's really cool that I got to hear these different stories I never would have known if we didn't have the veteran roundtable.
We're going to talk a little bit about our veterans and what it took to work into them. So my veteran is Roger Marsh, and he's my grandpa. And I have heard his story since I was young, but I always.
You are young.
Well, yeah.
This group, they're young.
Since I was tiny, I guess I'm still tiny, but, and I thought that it would be good to share his story with other people and other people could hear what he did, because he was in combat in the Vietnam War. So he was, in the I Corps, which is the, it's the hardest, like, corps of them all, so he was on the first line. He walked point for 9 months, and your life expectancy when you walk point is only 6 months. He was drafted into the war at the age of 19. His only family was his sisters. And when walking point, he tripped to booby traps, so he had shrapnel in the back of his shoulder and in his leg. And so he had to go to hospital then and get it out, which led to him having cellulitis and being on IV for 18 days. And then he kind of tried to just not have to go back to war and stay in China to hang out, but they had military police that had to send him back. And then he also disarmed 18 booby traps before the rest of his platoon came, and then no one would have got hurt then.
And so what was he honored for when he got injured? What award did he get?
He has 2 Purple Hearts from the shrapnels. He has an Army recognition, 2 Bronze Stars, and a CIB. The presidential.
So this is my veteran board. So my veteran is actually my dad's coworker. I've actually never met him, but I think that gave me such a different perspective that I would have never known if I did someone related to me. I got to hear a different story that I never would have known. And I got to hear about someone I never knew. So I think it was really important to honor his story because he was an electrician in the Navy. And he worked on different boats and aircraft carriers and elevators, everything that involves electricity in there. And I think he was a pretty cool guy because I never knew him. And now I got to learn a different part of him that maybe not all his family know or people that just see him every day at work would know. So I think it was really cool to hear a different story and hear his impact on the military and the world.
Yeah. That's really it, but so Mr. Witt does all of the Purple Star Club stuff, and with the military veterans, with all of them together, we're just a little part of it. Our club is growing and growing and growing as like meetings are. The first meeting we went to, there was probably 10 of us, and now the last meeting we went to just on Wednesday, there was probably 50 of us in Mr. Witt's room putting together goodie bags. Thank you. Thank you.
Don't go anywhere. John, you want to come back? Where'd he go? Is he still here? There he is. Each year, our club likes to make an annual donation to the Purple Star Club at Dublin Scioto High School to allow them to purchase the materials that these kids, they send postcards, they send birthday notices to all the veterans and everything. It's a tremendous program they have. So we have today a check for the program, $250 that will help them with some of their administrative expenses, we hope. And so girls, you want to hold on to that and we'll get a picture.
Look at me, thank you.
Hey, that's the symbolic check, so. No, without John, here's the real money.
These two are amazing. What they do on a daily basis is just incredible. As they mentioned the other day, they were after school for about an hour putting together goodie bags. Again, it makes sense that would happen around Veterans Day, but if you visit my classroom at least twice a month throughout the school year, they're doing similar things. So anything good that's come of this is because of the foundation of these students, and Zoe and Maya are just unbelievable. I tell people all the time, I'm blessed to be around such amazing people who are undertaking such a cause, especially when you're still young, right? And some of it doesn't always mean to them what it does to us, but they get it and they're continuing to grow and understanding it. So, and I also want to thank Mr. Williamson and the other veterans who attended last night. That event, the kids go into it one way last night, but by this morning, their perspective is completely different. and that is testament to those who have served our nation and those who give up their valuable time in order to help these students better understand it. So again, I cannot thank Rotary enough, Mr. Williamson, Cap, Claudia, Osh, all the others. What you do empowers these young people to do amazing stuff like this. So we appreciate you. Thank you.
I mean, we gotta give it back. Yeah.
We give this one back, right?
Yep. I'm gonna keep that.
Thank you.
Okay, well done. Thank you very much. That's it.
Let's recognize Dave, Don, Zoe, and Maya for such a great presentation. Next week's program is our annual OSU, Michigan, and 2nd and 7 update with Ryan Miller and Craig Krenzel. Our closing quote today comes from Barack Obama. When the world makes you cynical, whenever you seek true humility and true selflessness, look to a veteran. To all our veterans, thank you for your service. Have a great week.
Thank you, Gene. Great program.
Really? Well, I was at work after the office, I was like, yeah, I got my son, so I tried to don't move. But, so I'll get it. Now I know I'll get it. All set. Yes.